integrous way of doing it.
Okay, and
If someone brings a word,
I'm not going to be dragged to this again.
if someone brings a word, and I'm asking you, flesh it out for me, you're going, that's the problem. No, that's not relevant. No, this.
Okay, let's focus
what
on
is
the
going
point.
on?
Let's not drift away from it. The
You
point
mentioned
is,
existence.
What prevents the universe of just existing without a creator?
You keep saying existence. Yeah? Am I supposed to just blindly accept your usage of the word existence?
It's just a word. It's a language.
It's just a word.
It's just a language. We all know that we exist, and we're certain about it.
What does we exist mean? What does that mean?
We know that there is existence. I think therefore I am.
Okay, 1 second. I think therefore I am.
Yes.
That's your fundamental, yeah?
This is just a basic understanding. Like,
Tell me what you mean.
If I'm asking, that means I must exist.
So that's the most
consciousness
foundational
must
thing.
exist. Exactly.
Most foundational thing. Say it, so I don't want to straw man you afterwards.
I don't know how you're going to manipulate it later, but I'm holding my position as of now.
So does that show like someone that's...
Well, because I fell for this before. You would make me something and then you take it out of context and then use it for your advantage.
I don't think you're being honest, because you're assuming that I'm going to twist something later on.
Because it did happen in the
It's a belief. It's an assumption.
Yeah. So
and frankly, I reject your belief and assumption.
The most
I reject it.
fundamental belief is if I think that therefore I am. This is fundamental.
I think you've just experienced some negative things from your culture.
This is not.
Now,
let's not use ad hominem again.
No.
It has nothing to do with
It's
my
not
culture.
ad hominem.
It has nothing to do with my
Sorry,
background.
it's not ad hominem. No. That's false. That's false. That's false. That's false. That's false. Yeah. You've had certain experiences. It's an assumption of mine.
My experience is irrelevant.
No, your experience is relevant.
We're not against you, Dr. We're not against you.
Your experience is very relevant because I haven't completed my argument. You've assumed I'm going to twist what you're saying. I'm going to warp what you're saying. I'm going to do this pattern recognition.
It happened last time.
I've only spoken to you once before.
Yes.
What pattern?
And I watched some
How
of the
is that a
videos,
pattern?
And I see the pattern.
Under what definition is speaking to someone before a pattern?
I also.
It's a fair question, right?
Yeah.
No, I also watch videos. You do the same thing.
defends it.
You watch
I get
videos.
it.
I watch videos. Big up Sherlock Holmes. Big up Watson. I watch lots of videos. That doesn't now mean that I believe Moriarty is going to come and get you in a
I know
headlock.
what you do in debates, right? You take things out of context and then you ask questions in the intent.
Oh, I
of
ask
setting
questions? No way. Socrates asks questions. It's called the
up. You can
Socratic
ask
method.
questions relevant to the
So
argument.
you mention existence.
And you can't
I say
answer-
what are the forms
you
of
can't answer a
existence.
question, but
And
you-
now I'm warping what you're saying.
No rhetoric, cold
No,
logic.
I'm not going to accept
Bro,
this,
you just
I'm not going to accept
you're just
It's
disingenuous.
a cold logic conversation.
You're just disingenuous.
No bias, you speak
Let's
logic.
cross-examine.
You're just disingenuous.
Let's cross-examine
In logic.
the issue at hand.
You're just
Let's do that.
disingenuous.
I'm not
Cold logic.
disingenuous.
Okay, let me see now.
Cross-examine the
So
the
if
issue
you're
at hand.
saying,
Let's not-
I think
let's
therefore
not
I
refer
am,
to
1
anything
second,
else.
if you're saying I think therefore I am, I'm saying, are you sure that's your position? I don't know how you're going to manipulate this. Oh, I've seen you manipulate people. Brother, just engage with the argument.
Yeah.
Don't be, somebody
I think
that's,
therefore I am-
a
I
snowflake.
believe it's the most fundamental knowledge.
Okay,
Right?
you heard that, yeah? You heard that, yeah? I think therefore I am. I'm going to borrow words from Nietzsche now. You're presupposing an I. Why are you presupposing I?
Well, by
Where
I,
did
I
it-
mean-
where did this
by
I come from?
By I mean my consciousness or any
So you're
consciousness.
presupposing a consciousness exists now. That's more fundamental.
Because if my consciousness doesn't exist, I wouldn't be thinking.
Then why wasn't that your answer?
Well, my physical existence may not exist.
You said that's the most fundamental. Now you're giving me something more fundamental.
I'm giving you a definition of what I means. I might indicate my consciousness, not my physical existence.
Okay, so there is something more
My
fundamental
physical-
than I.
We could be living in a matrix. I wouldn't be able to tell.
Big up Neo. Okay, so
I wouldn't be able to tell. But
I
what can tell for
also-
certain is that my consciousness exists.
Okay.
That's why I'm making this argument.
how are you even conceiving an I? Through what?
Through mind.
So now you're presupposing a mind as well now. Where's the mind located?
Well, mind is not a physical thing.
Okay, but where is it located in your worldview?
In what sense? Scientifically, it's located.
I'll leave it open
in
to
the
you.
brain. But
I don't want to manipulate what you're saying, right?
physically or scientifically, thinking is made by the brain.
Now we're
It is in the head.
presupposing a brain now.
But I wouldn't be able to tell if my physical existence.
And how does the brain
is
function?
real in the first place.
What is the brain relying upon?
Again, so this I fell for the same.
And you're
trap
falling
again.
for it again.
You keep going and asking questions. And
Yes,
justify
I
them.
will ask you
And
questions when you make a
justify them.
claim.
You can ask questions that are relevant to the argument.
How
but
is
you
this
keep
not relevant when
moving
you
away
said,
from
I
the
think,
argument.
therefore I am, and I'm telling you, why are you saying I?
Let's forget about this.
Why are you
point.
presupposing
Let's
an I?
forget about this. Now, what I'm
Was
saying.
it relevant questions that I was
is
asking?
irrelevant.
It was
You're taking me to a chain of questions.
relevant or irrelevant?
Is irrelevant.
Madness.
You're taking me to a.
He said, I think, therefore I am.
endless chains-
I asked him about I, he's saying irrelevant.
Let's roll back. To the
I
argument.
presupposes a mind.
So that was.
That's
was
irrelevant
showing
as
you
well.
at one point. What I'm saying is, if I think, therefore I am, that means there must have been an exception in the rule of everything must have been created by something else, right? Because you and I exist.
No,
you know
that doesn't follow.
Struggle to make.
No, that doesn't follow.
Okay, again.
Prove it.
Is there, again, I would ask the question that I asked in the last debate. Is there an exception to the rule that everything must have come from something else? Is there any exception at all, or no?
That's a very
It's a
vague.
simple question.
That's a vague
It's a
question.
simple question.
Give
Is
me.
there exception?
Are
or
we
is there no
talking in
exception?
terms?
Is there an absolute rule?
Are we
that has no
talking?
exception?
Are we talking in terms of contingency and necessity? Yes. Are we talking in terms of independent and dependent? Yes. What are you referring to?
Just take the question in the most basic
No,
sense.
no, 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 no,
In the
no,
most
no,
basic
no,
sense.
no. Define.
If you're using pure logic, if
This
pure
is not
reason-
pure logic.
This is pure reason, right?
Okay, S5 or S4? Which one?
What is this?
Where is this?
What is this?
That's logic. That's modal logic.
Again, no. I will not be dragged to this.
You will not be dragged into logic.
No. We're gonna use. You can't manipulate the argument again. My
It's
question-
been a
Okay.
long
I'm asking very
day.
simple questions that are very direct and very relevant to the question.
No, you're asking me a very vague question because ultimately, you know what you want to say? Oh, if this can't be an exception, then God can't be an exception. Aha, da da da,
It makes
gotcha.
sense.
No,
No, it makes sense.
No.
It's a simple question.
No,
If you use
that's
simple
that's a
logic, using
very-
pure reason.
that's a
Well,
very
now-
disingenuous
now
argument,
that we have
frankly.
failed to present empirical evidence, now we're gonna roll back to the
Define
pure
it.
logic.
Define it.
Well, you can't. Well, last time you said that there's no empirical evidence that you can provide to prove existence of God, right? So as an alternative, we're going to use pure reason.
I didn't say that last time.
That doesn't make sense.
What I was saying was empirical evidence should not be the criteria for proving that there's a God.
What is the?
Anything metaphysical.
Everything else.
What is left?
Logical evidence, rational, testimonial evidence, historical evidence.
Testimony is evidence.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Most of what you believe today, 95% plus, is testimonial.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like archaeological evidence. Have you gone to the sites and checked the archaeological evidence?
The researchers
Have you?
are readily available.
Have you?
The research is all
Wait, have
It's
you?
available to check.
Have you?
Right? If I decided to
Brother,
check the
simple
archaeological
question.
evidence, I can go and check it because it's readily
Have
available.
you?
What if I haven't? But I can.
There you go.
But I can. But can I?
But I can.
But can I check? Can I?
I can check the
cross-examine
testimonial chains, yes.
How would you know?
So
What's
can
what?
I can
check-
read the
can I
books
check
of
the-
Jarh
the
and
moon's
Ta'dil,
split
yes.
to half? Can I check
You
that?
can check the chain of
Do you believe
transmission,
that-
yes.
Do you believe that the moon split?
Absolutely, I believe an all-powerful God can make a moon split.
In the 21st century, and you believe that actually the moon split to half.
Yes,
You believe that?
I believe an all-powerful
What else?
being can make a moon split in half.
Is there any
Yes.
way? Is there a way that we can confirm that?
Yes, by
What is
looking
the
at the
way?
chain of transmission, by looking at the arguments when you place them above each other. For example, if you prove that there's a God, you prove that the revelation is the Quran that came from God, there is prophethood. It then follows what is mentioned in the scripture is from
can
God.
I directly confirm that the moon split to half?
Why
Can I-
direct?
Why not?
Why direct?
Well, you said that happened, right?
Yes.
Well, testimonies doesn't mean that it did happen. Even if you said that a million people saw it. If I can't confirm it, I wouldn't take that seriously.
Let me reiterate. So testimony is a form of evidence. You asked me what are the forms of evidence.
It's the weakest
I
form of
gave you.
evidence.
It's not because 95% of your knowledge you rely upon, which is testimonial
Incorrect,
evidence.
because I can go back
You
and check.
studied in school, from textbooks, from teachers. 95% of it, came from people who you had to trust. You
there's
don't
a
know
way to
where
check.
your teacher studied. You don't know who she studied from. You didn't see her diplomas and her
should I have
degrees.
any suspicion,
You
I
believed
can
in
go
it.
and confirm.
One second.
I can put it to test.
I will let you talk.
not the
Yeah,
same
I will let you
as-
talk. So if we are to prove that there's a God, that we prove that the Quran is a revelation from God, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a prophet sent by God with that revelation, it then follows what is written in that scripture is from God.
This
Is that
a fake
faulty
chain of
reasoning?
causation. This happened, then must this happen? This is a
Okay.
fake chain of causation.
Okay.
Right? This
A fake chain of what?
this of causation. Just because.
Okay, tell me why.
What do you mean?
Now what do I mean?
It's just.
What
it
do
doesn't
I
follow.
mean?
It doesn't
How
make
do we know
sense.
Julius Caesar got stabbed 65
Tell me how
times
it-
2,000
No,
years ago?
I said.
How do we know that?
Can you? Huh?
How do we know
No,
that?
no, he's
Julius
running, he's
Caesar
running, he's running.
Got stabbed 65 times 2,000 years ago. How do we know that?
Who?
Julius Caesar. How do you know he got stabbed 65 times?
I
With
wouldn't-
Brutus there as
I
well.
wouldn't take this knowledge to heart. It's not doesn't affect my
But
life.
how do we know that now?
Should
How
I
do we know that now?
want should I want to confirm it? I would look deeper into it. But it's just
But how would you go deeper into it without testimony?
Huh?
How would you go deeper into it without testimony?
Well, I wouldn't take it to heart. I wouldn't believe
Okay,
it
so you
100%.
won't take it to heart.
It doesn't affect my
Okay,
daily
then
life.
tell
It's
me
not that important.
my
But
chain
if
of
someone says-
causation. Why is my chain of causation wrong?
Why is it wrong? Because it could be it's broken.
It's broken.
Yes.
It's broken, brother.
Broken chain of causation.
What part is broken?
What was the chain of causation you said?
You weren't listening,
You
were
said
you?
it's broken. Elaborate where it's broken. Sorry, but
He
elaborate.
said, so I said, how do you prove that the moon has split? He said, well, first you need to prove that God exists, first, and then follows.
I didn't say that. That's a
revelation.
straw man.
Broken confidently. But where was it broken? Tell us, elaborate, educate us if I'm wrong.
Because he said that once you prove God exists, then revelation exists, which is there's no relevance here. You can theoretically.
Let me restate my argument.
Okay.
If God is proven to be correct,
Yeah.
revelation has been proven to come from him,
This broken
and a
chain
prophet
of causation
comes, therefore what is written in the scripture is correct. Tell me why.
Well, first link you made is once God is proven to be true, then revelation must be true. Or the revelation
I
that we know
didn't
must
say
be
that.
true.
You keep strawmanning me.
Okay, then
Yeah?
what is the
I'm
first
saying
chain?
if the revelation has been proven to be from God, the prophet has been proven to be sent by God, therefore what is written in that book is correct.
Well, first you need to identify which God, which revelation, and which religion.
That's why I'm
and which
saying
book.
that you need to
So
prove a
many
God.
things, right?
That's what I said.
It's not an automatic process. Right?
I didn't say it's an automatic process. You're mischaracterizing what I've said at least 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah? Listen to what I'm saying and then dissect it. If I'm wrong, I will retract it. But for now, I haven't been convinced why I would be wrong. That if a God can be proven to be true and a revelation can be proven to be from him, it then follows that whatever is in that book is truthful.
That is logically correct, right? But not practically. But you still couldn't prove any.
Why is it not practically
Because
correct?
you couldn't prove any of these things. You couldn't prove God exists. You couldn't prove revelation.
We were trying to prove God exists at the beginning of this conversation. And we were stuck on semantics because I was asking you for a definition and it seemed like you had some post-traumatic stress syndrome from last time and you were convinced that I was going to take it somewhere else.
But since the proof of the existence of God would not be practically possible because we can't verify it empirically, let's move to the next step and see if we can
No,
do that.
no.
We can do something about that.
There's an assumption in what you're saying. Just because something can't be proven empirically, does that mean it's false?
It doesn't mean false, but we won't be able
Exactly.
to tell for certain. We wouldn't be able to tell for certain.
Yeah,
So
you
there
can't
would
be
some room for discretion.
You can't be epistemically certain. I agree with you.
Yeah.
If the criteria is materialism, yeah, and physicality, but that's not my argument. My argument is why do you have to take something that is only physical? Why can't we take testimonial evidence? Why can't we take deductive evidence? Why can't we take historical evidence? Why can't we even take scientific evidence? No problem. Or why can't we take a manuscript evidence? Why can't we take stylometry as evidence? Why not? Do you know what stylometry is? That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't mean anything if I don't know what.
I haven't made an argument.
What vocabulary I don't understand doesn't.
I'm not.
Doesn't prove you
I haven't made an argument, brother. Relax.
Then,
If
again,
you don't know,
I don't accept this.
if you don't know, ask me and I will tell you happily.
If I don't know, you take it as a point, as you made.
Did I say it's a point because you don't know?
You acted accordingly, but anyway.
Brother, I acted. Brother, come on.
But
I'm sure you
this
can.
is a trick that you use. But
Okay, no problem. I will give you the weapon now. Look, I'm sure there will be words you can use that I'm not going to know. If I don't know, I will humbly say, brother, I don't know. Can you explain it to me? I have no issue with this, brother. If you don't know, I agree. I cannot use it as an argument that, oh, therefore it's true. I haven't made the argument. But for some reason, there's some insecurity there, yeah? Point that I'm saying is, I will reiterate, there's many forms of evidence that you're not aware of, I'm not aware of. For us to completely relegate it and say, no, I'm only going to rely on empirical evidence, I think it's a cop-out. I think it's disingenuous, and I don't think it's an honest way of coming to
what
truth.
I'm saying is, since it would be difficult and not practically possible for us to come to a conclusive agreement on something in that regard, because it's something
Practical for who?
rather spiritual, right?
Practical for who, though?
If you
wholesome
really,
criteria.
and you have enough
It's not
integrity-
practical for you because your criteria is empirical evidence. I reject that. That's the only criteria for certainty.
Well, we try to achieve a goal here. To
Sorry.
verify whether religion is accurate, is true.
Let me say one thing, yeah? Let me say one thing that I didn't mention last time. What you're saying is a posteriori knowledge. Do you accept that there is knowledge that we can gain a priori?
That's possible.
That's where I'm endeavoring to take my argument, a priori. Maybe I didn't clarify that last time, yeah? So I'm clarifying that now, yeah? By definition, the law of non-contradiction, we believe in a priori. 2 + 2 is 4, we believe in a priori. The names of things, we believe in a priori, definitions, yeah? So that's my argument. I accept that certain people require a posteriori knowledge. That's not where I'm going with this, because I accept what you're saying, that it can be manipulated and maybe we don't know this,
And
maybe we don't know that.
speculative. So we're never going to come to a conclusive agreement on anything. That's
problem.
why I'm suggesting. To
I
just
believe
move on
we
to
will,
the
though.
next point.
I think it depends who we're speaking to, but you're telling me your criteria, which is fine.
Like you would never know for certain. We can make the most coherent, logical argument, but then there would still be room for doubt.
Okay, do you believe in morals?
In what sense?
Morality, right and wrong, good and bad.
Do you believe they exist, or what's the question?
Yeah,
Can you be more
yeah.
specific?
Do you believe that they exist? Do you believe in morality?
I believe that we made them, so they're man-made.
Do they exist?
In what sense? The physical sense? Like it's like
In a real sense.
It's like justice. Well, justice
In a real sense.
in a social sense, maybe they exist.
Do you see, you're asking me questions now. That's what I was doing at the beginning when you said existence, and I was asking for definitions.
What you mean by existence?
But do you see, I'm not getting perturbed by you asking me questions. That I just want to draw, some spotlight on that. There's nothing wrong with asking questions if the other person
I'm
is genuine
asking
what they're
with
saying.
good faith. In order to really know what you mean, not to make a point, right? So if you're asking,
I
does
also was
morality-
doing the same.
I don't believe so, but anyway, if you're asking,
That's
does
faith.
morality-
I reject your faith.
I'm asking in a good faith because I really want to know.
How
what
do
you
I
mean.
know? How do I know?
So if you're asking, does morality exist, as in physical existence? I can't
Do you
find-
believe
I
that
can't
there is
find-
okay? Do you believe
honestly,
that there is
answer
such
B.
thing
I can't
as
find the answer
morality?
of what?
Do you believe there is a moral system that you adhere to, physical or non-physical?
Yes, I do.
Okay, prove it.
What do you mean prove it? It's a system. How can I prove it?
You believe it exists,
I
right?
believe that there is a system.
Right.
That's why I asked. Do you
Okay,
mean
prove
physical
it.
Existence? You can't find honesty and justice under a rock. You can't.
Then why
look
do you
for,
believe it?
Huh?
Why do you believe it then?
Because I believe it's good. It's good to achieve the greatest.
Stop saying the word believe. You keep saying believe.
Yes, I believe in it. It's a
You believe it.
belief.
Okay, prove it. I don't accept it.
Do I
Show me.
Prove that I
Show me.
believe in it.
Show me empirical evidence.
empirical evidence in what? I'm saying
The fact that it exists.
I believe in it. That's why I said it doesn't exist physically. You can't find it under a rock. But what I'm saying is,
No problem.
I believe
Even in a non-physical sense, prove
it
it.
achieves the greatest good to the greatest number. That's why.
I don't accept that. Show me.
Show you what?
Show me evidence of that principle.
That it achieves the greatest good to the
No,
greatest number.
show me scientifically, because your criteria is empirical evidence.
This is not scientific.
I want
This is not scientific.
this to also be measured empirically.
This is not scientific.
Then how can you prove it?
If all humans went extinct tomorrow, there would be no justice, there would be no morality, there would be no mercy, there would be no...
That's a hypothesis, it's not evidence.
Our existence today, right now, you two talking and having communication, ethical, right? Ethics. We're talking about ethics.
Talk about everything. So,
To be able to do that, morality.
I'm not convinced empirically. Show me.
what do you want me to convince you with exactly?
Then
It doesn't exist physically.
Okay.
So what evidence do you need?
Then as a consequence, can somebody
It's an
say
abstract idea.
Then-
It's got abstract idea. Where is the
then
physical
as
existence?
a consequence, can you now say I don't accept any form of morality because I can't be certain of it?
That's not true. Because morality.
Thank you.
Morality is a abstract concept. But what you're claiming and what religious people claiming is that God not only an abstract concept, it's physical existence. It makes actual changes and it makes material change in the universe, in existence.
You're not connecting the dots here.
So
The
if
point that I'm
humans
saying,
would extend, in your opinion, God would still exist.
the point, you're missing the point. The point that I said was, for God, you're saying we need certain empirical evidence.
Why? Because it has physical existence.
Right. But your criteria, I'm looking at your criteria, you keep going somewhere else. If your criteria for certainty of existence is for something to be empirically proven, I'm saying do that for morality, otherwise it's a
We're
cop-out.
dealing with two different issues now. If you're
Absolutely, but I'm looking at your criteria.
asking what criteria? Well, it depends on what we're asking. It depends on the question at hand.
So your criteria changes.
Well, of course,
For something existing or not
if
existing.
the circumstances changes, then
You're changing the goalpost fallacy then.
then the tools that we use
Changing
change.
the goalposts.
So if we can't measure temperature by a meter, right, or by a tape, right?
Initially,
If we measure
Initially,
different things,
you
we
weren't
need
willing
use
to grant me
different
that.
Tools, right?
Initially, you weren't willing to grant me exceptionalism. You were saying that, okay, so if you've got something that is the root of it all, but it itself is dependent, why is the exceptionalism there? I'm now using that same criteria for you that you used, and now you're moving the goalpost now.
I didn't move the goalpost. What I'm
You
saying
are.
is, if
You're saying the criteria would be different.
If we're measuring different things, then we need to use different tools. If you're asking the question, does God materially exist, then we'd use certain tools, such as empirical evidence, right? But if we're talking about abstract concepts such as morality, justice, good,
No.
evil, then we can't,
All under
we
the-
can have a thermometer to see how
All
much
under the umbrella of a posteriori.
So,
Both are under that category.
but do you accept or do you deny that God has physical existence?
That's not what we're talking
Is it-
about.
is it a-
Yes, he has physics. Yes, right. So what's the point?
So we can use that. Well, for this we use certain measurements. So if he has physical existence, then he has material influence. God can make changes, but this is the
So in
definition.
science, when something makes changes, you judge it by its effects. When it came to Planet X,
Yes.
we didn't detect Planet X, yet we said because of
agree
the
on that.
effects.
Can
So
we
I would
detect any
argue that
effect?
there's more than enough effects of God. For example, objective design, cause and effect, fine-tuning, deductive arguments. All of these are effects
Okay, all
of a cause,
that's a good point.
and Aristotle says there has to be a prime mover or a final cause.
Can we measure and detect these effects that are directly caused by God? And we can distinguish them from things that just happen naturally. Is there any distinction? Like, for example, one good example is prayer.
You're talking
Can
about-
prayers make changes? Make material changes? Yes or no?
Yes,
Can we measure that?
it has been measured.
Can we try it?
It's been tried.
Let's try it again. If you prove it, then I'll be all good. Well,
Why don't you just look at what's been proven already? Why do we have to do it again just because you don't know?
Gravity, for example, it works every time. It doesn't work sometimes. It works every time.
No,
you
it
touch
doesn't.
something.
It doesn't.
It always works.
It doesn't.
Given the same circumstances.
Now
and
you're
the same
changing it.
conditions,
Now you're changing it.
Same conditions.
You're
means
being disingenuous
same
now.
outcome.
Does it work in a vacuum?
That's why I said repeating the same conditions.
No, you didn't.
It gives the same outcome.
You knew I was going to come back at that. In space, does it work?
It doesn't work in space. It does work in space.
I thought it works everywhere.
Everywhere, proving or giving the same conditions.
There you go.
Does
It's in the
prayer?
gravitational pull.
Yes. So it works in a certain way every time you put it under the same conditions. Does prayer work every time you put it under the same conditions?
If you fulfill the criterias, then yes, it will work
Yes.
every single time.
So if I rule a coin.
But there's metaphysical conditions which we don't know and we can't measure.
Okay, so it doesn't make a material effect then. So
No.
it would be exactly.
No,
okay,
no, no.
Let me ask you another question.
No.
If
We need to address this. We need to address this.
If we
Yeah?
toss
No.
a coin and pray.
No,
would it
this is-
Would it make any actual material?
Prayer
difference
is
in the
both
outcome?
metaphysical.
Yes or no?
Prayer
Would it
is
make
both
any difference?
metaphysical. Listen to my answer. Prayer is both metaphysical and physical. The criteria that you want to use is only physical.
Well,
What are you
that's the only
doing?
thing I
What are you
acknowledge.
doing?
I'm only concerned with physical changes. If you say
And then if you're only concerned with physical changes, why are you trying to measure something metaphysical?
like what?
Like prayer.
But you said prayer make material.
Yes?
How is that
What, only material?
That's what I'm asking.
Did I say only material?
Does prayer make material change?
Yes, but
or
not
no?
only material.
Can we change? Can we measure that change?
Yeah, of course we can.
Let's try it. Let me toss a coin and then you pray as much as you want. And then let's see if your prayers are going to affect the outcome.
Right.
If they did affect it, I would believe you. I would convert now.
Okay,
But I'm sure they wouldn't.
so how do you know?
Let's try.
You just say you're sure it wouldn't.
It's a challenge. I said if that would
How are you so sure?
because I've tried and it didn't work. Let's try it
Personal.
again. Let's try it again.
Personal issue.
Let's try it again.
I've
If
tried
did-
it.
If it did,
I've had this
That's the
issue in
point.
my life. Therefore, now I'm certain that it won't work for anyone else.
Say the same things. Christians say the same things. Hindus say the same things. Then I don't know in whose favor does God answer
What's
prayers?
that word?
So
Methodological?
you think the prayer will work to prove a concept?
Methodological.
Prayer is not meant for us
It
to
will
prove
never
a
change
concept.
the outcome. It will never change the outcome. That's what I'm saying. If you're saying that God makes material change, therefore material change would work in something such
But
as
not
prayer.
for something conceited like that to make it proof for you. Prayer is meant for the good of many.
If there's
So
a law,
when many people pray, changes happen. But one person prays, you had 2, you had 3, you had 4.
The analogy I just gave, if something that is actually true would work every time, given the same
Why would you
conditions.
assume that empirical cause and effect is like metaphysical cause and effect?
Okay,
Like in prayer.
okay.
Again,
One
we're going
second.
back
One
and forth.
second. One second.
I'm finding a lot of contradictions here.
One second. The word that I was looking for was methodological naturalism. Yeah. So methodological naturalism is an assumption of science. A very clear way I could say it is if you're going around with a metal detector, what are you going to detect? Metal. If you are 1 hour detecting using a metal detector and afterwards you say, I only detected metal, therefore plastic doesn't exist. Is that a rational conclusion to make?
Yes, but I do think it's relevant to the
It is.
question.
Let me break it down because you're trying to do a sleight of hand over here, yeah? Now, when it comes to prayer, when it comes to God, we're not saying they are only physical. We're saying they're physical and metaphysical. Well, when a person is praying, for that prayer to be accepted, there are metaphysical conditions that need to be met. For example, sincerity. You cannot measure using methodological naturalism, science, if that person was sincere. You cannot measure if that person, what they were thinking when they were praying, what their intention was, what their this was, what their aqidah is, this, that, what they said, what in the hadith it even says if you're eating haram, it will affect your prayer, it will affect your dua, it will affect your supplication, and you are aware of this. One second. Well, let me finish, then I will wait for you. Yeah? So, if you're seeing now this person, how are you going to judge that he's even a Muslim? You have to go by what he says. He might be a Christian pretending to be a Muslim. Again, you're relying on testimony. You're relying on, you don't know what faith I am. You're judging me based upon my speech. But you're going to judge people by their speech. So, there are so many conditions that they are not only not reasonable, they are assumptions and they don't hold to academic rigor. So that person is praying now. He prays and you flipped a coin, mashallah, and suddenly you're saying, aha, his prayer didn't result in anything, therefore there's no God. You cannot say therefore there's no God, it wouldn't follow. Thank you for listening.
What I want to do is leave all this aside. I'm examining.
What was the point of the answer then?
I'm examining a very specific question. Very, very
I worked
specific.
hard on that answer.
No, I'm not interested in any of that. I'm interested in one very specific
It's being
question.
disingenuous now.
No, because it didn't answer my question. I mean, I'm interested.
Did
not
that
in
make
big
sense?
Answers, not in big answers, not in things outside of.
Do you know what
the question.
methodological naturalism
I
is?
understand. But
What is it?
what you just described. If you have a metal detector, you will only detect metals. Well,
I'll let you off with that. I'll let you off.
You have to look it up to
Can't measure metaphysics of it.
Anyway, I'm
Yeah, so you can't,
let you off the hook, yeah? I'm going
Eh? Me?
I'm
I'm not on any hook.
I'm going to stick to the same
I
question.
invented the hook.
You claimed that God can make material change, material
100%.
influence.
Yes.
Is there any way we can measure and detect that change? Yes or no?
In science, the mere fact of cause and effect, that's how you'd measure it, right? This happened, therefore that was the cause. That is an assumption within science anyway. So you're using an assumption in science to prove something. How are you doing that?
You still didn't answer.
You know that landed.
No.
I saw on your face that landed.
No.
Anyway, just research this. The assumption of cause and effect. And what Hume has said, you know exactly what I mean by that.
Okay. Again, I will repeat it again. I will try to.
You can repeat it 100 times, brother.
I want to get an answer. I don't know why I'm not getting an answer.
You know, I
Is
could
there
tell
a
from your
way-
face.
Is there a way to change the results that would have otherwise happened if you let everything run naturally?
There was a point, sorry, say that point again. I don't want to respond
Is
to
there
another
anything
question.
that you can do using, or God can change something
Yeah,
that wouldn't have otherwise have happened?
yeah, 100%.
Okay, can you give me an
Yeah.
example, a specific example?
For example, if a relative's about to die, yeah, you ask the doctors and the nurses, you know, this person, that's it. And then you go back to the room, you start praying, you start worshipping.
Does
Yeah?
it work every time?
I would say it does, depending on the individual. I know people, they are called mustajabud dua. Yeah, that anytime they make du'as,
So they
supplications,
can pray for
it will be
anything,
accepted.
And then it will be accepted. What can they
That's
pray?
what I've,
The end of world hunger.
That's what I've
the
heard.
end of wars, the end of famine. If they can do that, then it would be great. But then unfortunately, nobody has been proven to have done that.
but when they made that supplication, how do you know it hasn't been accepted? Well, God is now a slave that he has to do it there and then.
Well.
So again,
it could be a much-
assumptions
much
in your answer.
easier-
I can pray for people to be guided, right? So there might come a time in the future that everybody might be a Muslim.
Can you pray?
But
for
then
someone to be healed from
that
cancer?
time might not
Can you do
last.
that?
Say that again?
Can you pray for someone to be healed from cancer?
Yes.
Would it work?
Now it depends.
Well, let's just hold the funds.
Let me tell you.
Well, let's shut down all the hospitals, the research, the everything, the universities, and let's just find the person whose prayer will be.
No, it's an argument I've used against Christians as well. I know what he's saying. He's very happy. I've had the same smile on my face as well. Okay, it's a fair argument.
It doesn't matter if you heard it before, as long as you haven't provided a sufficient answer.
I'm going to do that now, but I just don't want to
Even if
interrupt.
you heard it 1,000 times, it still hasn't been answered.
I'm going to do it now. Right. In the concept of dua in Islam doesn't mean you raise your hand and it must be answered there and then. That's a straw man of the consequence of dua. According to the hadith, yeah, when you make dua, either it gets accepted straight away, number one, or number two, you get reward for it on the day of judgment. Or number three, a calamity that was about to happen, your dua averts that calamity. So according to the Islamic paradigm, your dua has been accepted, but not in the tight cornered way that you've defined it.
So no material change still.
It can be a material, it doesn't have to be material.
Cannot. So that is just like anything else in the world. It's just
Not everything else in the world.
It's the same
We
as-
don't hold the
it
same
never
view as the
happened.
Christians.
It's the same as it never happened. So it doesn't have a material effect on the outcome. So what's the difference if it happened, if you prayed, if you didn't?
Right.
There's no
So let me reiterate, it doesn't always have to have a material effect. There can also be a metaphysical effect. 2 out of 3 that I mentioned to you are metaphysical effects. 1 only is physical. Now, let's do an internal critique. Prove me wrong.
Okay. If let's say they have.
Internal critique. Prove me wrong.
Let me ask you this question. Let's suppose that there is a cancer patient, yeah, and then we have two cancer patients. One,
No problem. 3 cancer patients.
two, and then one of which Muslims would pray for him, and then another group, Christian would pray for him, and a third patient would pray for a statue, for an idol. Will there be any material effect on the outcome of the 3 patients?
By the definition I've given you.
Any material effect?
By the definition I've given
Will it be
you.
exactly the same effect?
No. Either number 1 is going to happen straight away. There will be something material. Or number 2, they will be rewarded for that prayer on the day of judgment. Or number 3, a calamity that was about to come on all of them, that was averted. That's the definition of an accepted prayer within Islam. For you to say no, you need to do an internal critique and say why that's wrong.
So you can predict the outcome. So that's my answer. You can predict the outcome.
No, absolutely no.
Okay. Well, that's the same for anything.
No, it's not the same for everything.
If I prayed for a candy, it would be the same result as well.
No, because if you're praying to a tree, you're never going to get a candy. At least in Islam, I've given you 3. Yeah, 1 out of 3 criteria for that is that it will happen. With you asking that tree, 0 out of 3 chance of that happening.
So 2 people,
It's not the same.
If I pray for the tree and you pray for God, and then we toss a coin, will there be any material effect on the outcome of which side of the coin is?
It's like you're not listening. Let me tell you again. If you're praying to a tree, the tree can't do anything. So there's no criteria for a tree.
How do I know
So
that God can do anything?
I'm telling you, yeah? You asked me for a definition, I gave you an internal definition that requires an internal critique. Can't give me an external critique on something internal. If you're talking about what the definition of dua is. With regards to the tree, 0 out of 3, if we're taking 3 to be the measure. The tree can't give you anything. We are saying God can. 1 out of 3 probability that the thing will happen straight away. And if you hold a test where a person prays to a tree and a person prays to God, you will see more prayers of Muslims being accepted than tree worshippers.
Can we test that?
Yes, go for it.
If we can prove that.
Fund it, and I will love to be.
I will fund it.
I will be one of the worshippers there.
I will fund it personally.
I will be involved in this research.
Okay, let's do it.
I promise.
And then if we have,
If you are able to organize this
I will organize this.
and you get the accreditation from the peer reviewed and all that, I'm ready, brother.
Imagine how
I'm
many
ready.
issues in the world will be resolved if you just do this.
I'm ready,
And then
brother.
We're just gonna stop doing this every Sunday. Everyone is gonna be happy. Everyone is gonna go home.
No. I'll tell you why not. I'll tell you why not.
We'd settle it.
No.
And then everything
I'll
will
tell you why not. There's a friend of mine that comes here pretty much, he's become a regular now, yeah? Trevor. He's an atheist. We've given him all sorts of arguments. This argument there will be insufficient for him.
It would be sufficient for me. If you
For me. Not for Trevor. Trevor says, I don't know, I might see him again and bring him here.
sufficient for millions. Should we
For
have-
millions, but you're changing it. You said everybody will accept Speaker's Corner will be empty, this, that. No, we don't accept that, yeah? Because this guy, his criteria is he wants to see God. He wants to see God.
That's ridiculous.
Thank you.
But if
Something we agree on.
let's do this. If that would,
I'm ready, fund it now.
I'm saying that there are billions would actually have made their mind.
Billions.
Billions. Well, if you can get one research, how come there is not one research of the similar nature?
There are research, but the thing with the research is because people are unconvinced with cause and effect, therefore there is always that scope left, but is that the direct cause of that effect? You can't say that certainly. That's why there'll always be skeptics, because there will always be variables that maybe we are unaware of.
At least give
That's
them a
why.
chance. At least give
Let's do it, I'm ready, brother. Always a pleasure. I hope this conversation was better than last time.
a little bit.
A little bit. Good, we're getting there. I apologize if last time I know it got a bit heated or whatnot, but if I offended you, I apologize for that. Yeah, because it's good. I like to talk about these things. I may be right, I might be wrong, no problem.
Killed it.
Alhamdulillah. What flag is that? First I thought it was Bosnian. Ukrainian.
What was in your phone?
Who you supporting in the World Cup? Who you supporting? What's your name?
Paris.
Paris. Oh, that's nice. When's Egypt playing?
Tomorrow, 8.
Tomorrow, yeah. I saw, was it Qatar? Qatar played yesterday, isn't it? 1-1. It was good. That was good. And even Bosnia, they drew as well, isn't it? Yeah. It was 1-1. Yeah. Yeah, ask me a question so I can say, brother, after a question.
But do you think all this is endless? Like, I've noticed when I talk to people, like logic, you could provide some more like whole reluctant logic. But I don't come to that conclusion. It has to go my
When you're in certain areas, certain villages and stuff like that,